Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, Scaled Composites Model 437 is back in the air. Helicopter community mourns the loss of Sergei Sikorsky. Base jumpers fight for access to national parks. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Scaled Composites Model 437 is back in the air. After more than a year being grounded for modifications, the Scaled Composites Model 437 Vanguard has returned to flight testing. The aircraft first flew in 2024, quickly taking a break from the skies as it prepared to serve as the airframe for Northrop Grumman's Beacon autonomy test program. Beacon is Northrop Grumman's open-access autonomy ecosystem designed to speed the development of AI and autonomous flight software. To prepare for Beacon testing, Scaled Composites upgraded the Model 437's hydraulic system, installed Beacon subsystems into the airframe, and added pilot interfaces into the cockpit. The Vanguard then underwent extensive hangar testing to check Beacon's autonomy in controlled conditions before being cleared for flight. The current campaign focuses on envelope expansion flights that will set the stage for integrating advanced autonomous systems. The Model 437 traces back to Scaled Composites' earlier Model 401 Sierra design. It's powered by a single Pratt & Whitney JT15D 5D engine, delivering approximately 3,400 pounds of thrust, propelling it to speeds of up to Mach 0.85. The aircraft concept was first launched around 4 years ago as a solution to the U.S. Air Force's Loyal Wingman program, which was later renamed Collaborative Combat Aircraft, and as a possible UK F-35 escort. After the break, British Airways taking crew professionalism too far.
It's time to upgrade your power plant to the first FAA-certified clean sheet engine design in over 60 years. Delta Hawk's jet fuel-powered liquid-cooled turbocharged engine produces turbine performance at 40% better fuel efficiency of typical reciprocating engines, while also achieving exceptional reliability and significant reduction in cost of ownership. Reserve your engine package today at deltahawk.com.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. British Airways taking crew professionalism too far. British Airways has implemented new policies targeting employee professionalism that many argue are too extreme to be effective. The primary point of contention is a ban on consuming coffee, soda, tea, or any other beverage except water while in uniform and in public. The original restrictions extended to everyday routines, preventing staff from carrying drinks through airports, stopping at vendors like Starbucks, or consuming beverages while waiting in gate areas. Drone operator flying over USMC base sentenced in Guam. A resident of Guam was sentenced in U.S. District Court of Guam for flying a personal drone over Marine Corps Camp Blaze after being warned not to do so several times. Billy K.O. Cruz, age 54, received 2 months of home confinement on 2 counts of violating national defense airspace on September 11th. He was also placed on 2 years of supervised release and had to pay a special assessment fee. Cruz pled guilty to lesser offenses in an agreement with the U.S. Attorney's Office for Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands. 2 CAP members appointed USAF warrant officers. 2 members of the Civil Air Patrol will join the first group of 100 Air Force warrant officers appointed into the service's warrant officer program that was recently re-established. Senior Master Sergeant Luke Bungie of the Michigan Wing and Captain Christopher Brunn of the Hawaii Wing went through the Air Force Warrant Officer Training School at Maxwell AFB in Montgomery, Alabama. Bungie now holds the rank of Warrant Officer 1, and Brunn was appointed a Chief Warrant Officer 2. Major Dallas ATC outage blocks hundreds of flights. Overlapping telecommunication failures at Dallas-Fort Worth and Dallas-Love Field left more than 400 flights canceled and thousands more delayed. The outage dominoed throughout the U.S. and Canada, dragging lingering effects of the September 19th event across the weekend. The chaos started with what the FAA later described as, quote, multiple failures in the data services supplied by a local telecom provider. It turned out that 2 severed fiber optic cables took down radar data and phone lines. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Helicopter community mourns the loss of Sergei Sikorsky. Sergei Sikorsky, whose father Igor founded Sikorsky Aircraft, passed on September 18th at 100 years old. He spent 41 years building his father's legacy in the industry, taking Sikorsky's groundbreaking developments and shaping them into some of the most renowned military helicopters in history. Sikorsky's aviation career began in a U.S. Coast Guard uniform, serving in the Helicopter Development Unit during World War II. By 1951, he joined Sikorsky Aircraft, entering through the sales and international marketing side of the business. At that time, his father's invention, widely recognized as the first practical helicopter, was only beginning to find global applications. Sergey proved instrumental in expanding the manufacturer's reputation, helping establish Sikorsky as a major international brand. In 1976, Sergey returned to the United States as the UH-60 Black Hawk was entering production. As a division VP in Stratford, Connecticut, he oversaw major co-production programs and became central in ensuring the Black Hawk's long-term success. In later years, he shifted into marketing and special projects before retiring in 1992. Even in retirement, he continued to serve as the company's goodwill ambassador at trade shows and industry events. After these messages, base jumpers fight for access to national parks.
The legendary Bede 4-seat program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged 4-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a Bede 4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, Bede Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour Bede 4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit surewings.com and bedeaviation.com for more details.
Welcome back. Base jumpers fight for access to national parks. Yosemite National Park has been off limits to base jumpers for nearly 50 years. Now a nonprofit called Base Access is suing in federal court, arguing the ban is unconstitutional and that Yosemite should reopen to legal jumps. Base jumping was born in Yosemite in the late 1970s, when skydivers Mike Pelkey and Brian Schubert jumped from the 3,000-foot El Capitan cliff. However, the National Park Service quickly moved to shut it down under its aerial delivery rule, which prohibits parachutes or aircraft from dropping people or supplies into park land. The Park Service argues that its rules are essential to protect natural resources and public safety. The agency has only ever allowed one exception: West Virginia's Bridge Day Festival, a long-running base jumping event at the New River Gorge Bridge. Base Access President Brendan Weinstein, a longtime jumper, claims that this kind of enforcement culture makes the sport more dangerous. To avoid detection, athletes often leap in low light conditions or flee rangers mid-descent. These risks have allegedly contributed to fatalities. The lawsuit was filed in Texas earlier this year, challenging the National Park Service's authority to criminalize parachute use without a law from Congress explicitly banning the activity. Attorneys for the group are relying on recent Supreme Court decisions that narrowed agency powers. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.